Okay, here is another rotator video by Rotators by Scott. Oh shoot, excuse me, I just got done eating breakfast. This is a Wilson 1000. It took quite a bit of cleaning up here. Had to wire brush all the rusty build-up shit out of there. But this is it. You can see the gears in it. And unfortunately, I do not have a connector for this thing. I ordered some 10-pin I think it's GX30s. That'll fit this hole. Now I know the configuration of every wire coming out of this thing. And I made up a harness. And I just connect it to each wire. Each number on the wire represents which wire it ought to connect in there. And if some of you are wondering what that is, I'll set this right here on the edge of my bench. A 10-pin connector at rotator Wilson 1000. The number 1 wire is the small black wire. It goes to the pot. Number 2 is yellow. It goes to the wiper. Number 3 is a small blue. It goes to the pot. And then 4 is gray. 5 is small red. 6 is brown. 7 is big blue. 8 is big black. 9 is big red. And 10 is big blue. Now, 7 and 10 go to the brake solenoid. So it doesn't matter which one of them you hook up. And this is the original connector, which we're not going to be using that, but just to let you know, each one of these wires, see, like here's the big red, and it will connect to number 9, so on and so forth. Now I've got 1, 2, and 3 disconnected because I still time everything, the potentiometer, the same way. And it's a 500 ohm pot, so 242.9 on that side, 242.9 on that side. Now I'll just change hands here. This is the pot of the gear that turns the potentiometer. It's got a ring gear in here that I have to set all the balls in here and then set the ring gear on it and then set the top in. Well, here I'll just move this a little bit. You can see it's changing. I'll see if I can get it back centered right. I'm going to look over the top of the camera so I can see this. 238, 239, 40, a little bit more. 244, 242. Just a little bit more. Oh, went just a little bit too far. Yeah, that's close enough. Anyway, I'm going to pause this and hook it back up to the controller. And you can see where the needle's pointing. Okay. Let me just double check everything. I must have a loose connection on one of these wires here somewhere. Moved a little bit. Oh, yep. My number 2 wire didn't snap into the little connector. Hold on. Okay, corrected. See, it's off a little bit. Now, if a guy was to turn that potentiometer until the needle was right on 0 degrees, you would be off a little bit. But anyway, I always use the ohm meter whenever these potentiometers are all going. Okay, now here's the brake. And now here's, this will be counterclockwise, which it should. if I can get this thing around here. No, here we go. And then here's clockwise. So I can lube up all the gears, check all the operation out before I eventually put it all together. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to try doing this with one hand. I'm going to push it clockwise. No, I should say counterclockwise. And I'm pushing the end of rotation switch. I can't get it quite on there. Anyway, this is what I'm doing. That's that little tab coming over and hitting that switch to kill it from going that way. And then if I go clockwise, let's see if I can do this. I can't quite get my finger over there. Anyway, I'm moving this way. So, in all aspects, okay, once I get the rotor all put together and get a connector for it, I advise the customer on how to wire this thing up, because there is some discrepancy on the pin location in the 10-pin Cinch Jones connector. Now if you look, it's got a little picture there and it says wiring view. Well, I've made up my own thing, and if you have this 10-pin Cinch Jones, which I've got one right here that will hook up to an original rotator, as you can see, that's what it's like. It's a big one. Pins are all different colors or shapes, orientations. But if you're working on the solder side of this thing, you will see you got terminals on the back where you solder to. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't care what the picture says over here, right here. I care more about that. I mean, this harness works on mine. It's just the way it is. And then terminal side is going to be like if you're looking at this terminal just the way it is. Let me see if I've got it orientated right. Yeah, it's going to be orientated like that. So this is terminal side. This is going to be number 1, 2, and over 3, 4, 5, just like the picture. That's the terminal side. I'll just focus in here a little bit better. And that's on your solder side. So that's what you're going to have to look at whenever you solder the wires to it. That's going to be 1, 2, blah, blah, blah. And then here's the same information that I have on that little piece of paper, the colors of the wires. But that's how I will hook it up in the connector that I'm getting from Amazon. There's going to be a socket and a plug. But I'll wire up the socket that way. And then the plug will be wired the same way. And then it's going to be soldered like that on the 10-pin. Okay? But that's it in a nutshell. I'll go ahead and load up all the bearings on this thing. Put the top cap on it. It's kind of a unique rotator in the fact that this big ring gear, oh, that was nice. This big ring gear fits, well, it's going to be upside down like that. There's 2 pins that hold it in place. Now let me get the top part after I pick up what I dropped. in. This thing will fit on the top. And here's your 2 pins. These are where the brake engages. That's all that is. That's where the wedge for the brake comes out and hits that. And then this gear will basically set in there like so. And this is where the gear rides to tell it where to go. I mean, oh crud. That gear right there. That gear right there is going to turn inside here. And the potentiometer is also going to turn in there. It's going to ride in these teeth. So that's your brake. And this is the gear that turns it. And then you got the 2 pins that lock it in place. So it's pretty hefty. This thing must weigh about 80 pounds when you got the top all put on it. But it is what it is. Anyway, I'll make another little video whenever it's all together. All the bearings put in it. I'll have to disconnect all this, of course, and then put the bottom piece on. That's right here. That'll go on underneath with another set of bearings. Anyway, that's it for this one. Let's see if I can put this down without making a lot of noise. Pretty heavy duty. And that is, you can pause that and see all my information. There we go. Okay, thanks for watching.